GLD80 has a facility to store all system settings at the touch of a button. Up to 500 of these scenes or snapshots are stored in the surface. Typical use for scenes would be to store all the channel names, colours and settings for different bands in a show, together with their mix levels after soundcheck. As each band changes over, the previously stored scenes are recalled and the mixer is returned to the state it was at their soundcheck. Engineers may also use scenes to store simple or complex setting changes for each song a band plays. This could include strip layouts to highlight important instruments for that piece, effects types, and settings such as delay tempo and EQ changes for different instruments. Levels and mutes can also be controlled by scenes, so a known starting point is assured for each song, band, act, etc., leaving the engineer more time for hands-on mixing if needed. In fixed installations, different users can be given particular scenes when they log onto the surface, giving them a predictable and consistent working condition. The Scenes page displays the Scene Manager, which contains the master list of scenes created. To store all your settings, highlight a slot on the master list and touch the Store button. A default name of the scene number is added, but you can edit that in advance or later on. To recall a scene, simply highlight one on the list and press Recall. The most recent recalled scene is displayed on the home screen. Scene contents can be copied and pasted into other scenes. This can be handy if you want a similar starting point for different acts, which can then be overwritten as needed. Note the name is not copied, so it's a good idea to create unique names as you go along. A cue list can be edited from the master list of scenes to create a set of particular scenes, including duplicates. This can be useful if there are a lot of scenes to choose from in the master list of 500. Once the cue list is created by dragging scenes across, it can be saved with a name. You can recall a different cue list and then display it in Scene Manager, allowing the operator to run from a simplified bespoke list of scenes. To recall a scene, highlight it on the list and touch Recall. Potentially, all the settings on the desk could change as the new scene is recalled. There are 3 things you can do to manage this. 1. Make the channel or parts of it safe. A quick way to do this is to press and hold the Scene Safe key and then touch the blue Mix key on a channel you want to isolate from changes. The word Safe will appear in the channel LCD when the whole channel has been made safe. It will now stay in its current state no matter what scenes are recalled. You are free to make manual adjustments, of course. 2. You can also make just parts of the channel safe from scene recall using the global scene safes table in the Scene Manager. Choose the type of channel on the left, in this case an input, where we want to isolate a changed EQ after a mic has been swapped, for example. Only when all the sections in the channel are made safe will the safe icon appear in the channel LCD. The mic preamp associated with the channel does have a safe button indicator in the processing preamp page. If the mic preamp is split to more than one channel, then the safe buttons will be linked. Whole channels can be marked safe using the left-hand tab. The same parameter for all channels can be made safe using the top row of tabs. Thirdly, you can use scene recall filters on a per scene basis to isolate items. For example, in Scene 7, we can block the bass guitar channels from being changed when that scene is recalled. Another example would be a scene where everything is blocked except the patch bay. So this scene could be used for a virtual soundcheck playback where input channels are sourced from a Dante card, but no other settings would be changed. Don't forget, any global scene safe set will have the priority over the per scene recall filters. The 500 scenes in the GLD80 plus the current settings, the I/O patching and user preferences are all saved in the show file. To do this, go to the Show Manager screen and press Archive. You will be prompted for a name to enter via the pop-up keyboard. Press Apply and the show is saved to the directory in the Surface. You will find other shows and the factory template shows in the list. If you have already saved a show and want to update it, then press Overwrite and Store. Touch a show in the list and press Info to see when it was created. You can rename existing shows. To recall a show, simply choose one in the list and press Recall. All the settings in the desk plus any scenes created for the show will now be restored to the Surface and the system will be back as it was at the time the show was archived. Show files are transportable. If you insert your USB stick into the surface, you will see any previously created shows that are stored on the key. You can copy show files from the directory onto the key. Items can be deleted from the surface directory if desired. Show files can be renamed on the USB key, overwritten and recalled without copying them to the surface. You can use these USB shows in any other GLD system, or send the file to another user to be recalled in future.